There's some exciting news surrounding Lewis Hamilton and Leclerc for the 2025 season. It looks like Ferrari's car design is taking a completely new direction compared to what we saw in 2024. Hamilton will be joining the team, and Leclerc, who's no stranger to continuous changes within Ferrari, is already adapting to this new phase. The car will have a design that is 99% different from the previous year, but the big question remains, will this new car favor one driver more than the other? And if that happens, how will Ferrari manage this challenge? As described by Ferrari, it's a sweet headache, but it's clear that Ferrari is among the top contenders for 2025. Why? Not only because of the progress they've been making in recent months, but also because they'll have one of the strongest driver pairings on the grid. For many teams, having two top-level drivers can be a recipe for internal conflict, but Ferrari believes their partnership will work seamlessly. Their new car, set to launch soon, promises to be a game-changer. Even though Ferrari learned a lot about their weaknesses in 2024, they've focused on improving the car's Sunday performance and tire management. Despite the high expectations, Ferrari has suggested that this new car will be almost entirely different from its predecessor. It's a bold move, considering that technical regulations are locked until 2026. Making such drastic changes could either propel them to the front or hold them back if they go in the wrong direction, something both Mercedes and Red Bull have experienced in the past. But the most interesting development is Ferrari's shift in resource allocation. While other teams were still focusing on 2024, Ferrari has already invested heavily in their 2025 car. Reports indicate that they were the first to pass the crash test, even though they haven't fully tested the car to its limits yet. This early investment could lead to significant gains, though the competition, especially McLaren, won't make things easy. They've already shown impressive improvement, despite facing challenges like the ban on their mini DRS trick. Leclerc is extremely confident about Ferrari's progress, emphasizing that every team in the paddock is evolving, and it's all about how much of a step forward each one can take. He has no doubt that Ferrari will make significant strides in 2025, but the real question is what the other teams will do in response. One challenge Leclerc might face is his teammate, Hamilton. Even though Leclerc is more familiar with Ferrari's setup, having been with the team since 2019, Hamilton's adaptability shouldn't be underestimated. The 2025 car will present a new challenge for both drivers due to the significant change in design philosophy, so even though Hamilton has experience with various car concepts, the new direction may require both drivers to adjust. Despite the changes, the basic technical regulations remain the same, meaning both drivers will have to adapt to a car that is fundamentally different from what they've driven before. Hamilton's wishes have already been addressed in the design of the car, particularly with adjustments to the cockpit position, which has been moved slightly rearward. The impact of this change on the car's handling is yet to be seen, but it could make a significant difference in how Hamilton feels behind the wheel. Ferrari's decision to take risks with the car's design has been carefully calculated by Ferrari and his team, who are confident that the new approach will yield results. According to Ferrari, the team has been making calculated decisions all season long, which he describes as a strategy of calculated risk. While taking risks can sometimes lead to setbacks, it's necessary for progress. He reflected on the 2024 season, noting that although it had its ups and downs, it was still a solid year compared to 2023. The team improved in all the critical areas: reliability, strategy, pit stops, and overall performance. This commitment to progress is evident in the fact that they achieved 5 wins in 2024, compared to just 1 in 2023, and their total points tally was 60% higher than the previous year. Ferrari stresses the importance of continuing to take risks as Ferrari looks ahead to 2025. The team knows that the next season will be unique, as they'll be working with a car that might not only need to perform well but also help bridge the gap to the 2026 regulations. In his words, "If you don't take risks, you're dead." Ferrari's bold moves are all part of their plan to keep improving, and the 2025 car will be a critical part of that plan, serving as the foundation for the next few years of racing. The 2025 car will be a key factor in Ferrari's future success, but Ferrari also mentioned that it will be a crucial year for the team to shift their focus toward the 2026 project. The car they bring to the track in Bahrain will set the tone for the rest of the season, and all eyes will be on Ferrari's performance. While many teams will continue to refine their current models, Ferrari's bold decision to focus so early on the 2025 car could give them a competitive edge. According to Ferrari, this car is expected to be a long-term contender, which means that the development strategy is all about playing the long game. But the question still lingers: will the new design suit both Leclerc and Hamilton? Both drivers bring their own strengths to the table. Leclerc's familiarity with Ferrari's structure could give him an advantage in adapting quickly to the new car, while Hamilton's extensive experience in adjusting to different setups will certainly come into play. However, this new direction could still present a challenge for both of them, as the car's design will require each driver to find their own way to extract the maximum performance. Ferrari seems optimistic, saying that while the competition will be fierce, Ferrari's investment in their 2025 car is already paying off. The confidence in Leclerc's words further boosts the team's morale, as he emphasized that no team in the paddock is standing still. Everyone is evolving, and the real question will be how much of a leap forward the other teams make, especially given the regulations won't change significantly until 2026. Despite the optimism, there's still a lot of uncertainty. The car's behavior and the way it will adapt to different track conditions remain to be seen. Ferrari's willingness to take calculated risks has positioned them to make significant strides in 2025, but how much progress the car will make relative to other teams will be a crucial factor in their overall success. As the 2025 season approaches, one major storyline that will undoubtedly capture attention is the rivalry between Leclerc and Hamilton. After the Las Vegas GP, Leclerc sent a powerful message to his engineer, making it clear that from now on, his focus will solely be on himself. This shift in mentality is something every world champion needs: an unwavering commitment to their own success. However, when you compare the two drivers, Hamilton's accomplishments are hard to ignore. He's had a legendary career, and while Leclerc may be hungry to prove himself, Hamilton's experience and track record of success set him apart. The big question for Hamilton is whether his age will impact his performance, as some critics have speculated after remarks he made about his speed late in 2024. Hamilton's comments were likely aimed at his former team, Mercedes, but the underlying question remains: can the seven-time champion still deliver at the highest level? While Leclerc has the advantage of being fully embedded with Ferrari since 2019, Hamilton's experience with different car setups could still play a significant role in his adaptation to the 2025 Ferrari. Despite the car being a completely new concept, the core regulations will remain unchanged, meaning both drivers will have to find their footing in a car that is quite different from what they've driven before. Ferrari, Ferrari's team principal, seems to have faith in both drivers, but he also knows that managing the dynamic between Leclerc and Hamilton will be crucial. While both are extremely talented, the presence of two top drivers often leads to internal challenges. Yet, Ferrari is confident that the two will work well together, acknowledging that having two highly competitive drivers could fuel their ambition to win. As Ferrari put it, he'd much rather deal with a situation where both drivers are competing for the top spot than to have a team where no one is challenging for victory. In the end, Ferrari's internal dynamics will be key. The team's ability to balance Leclerc and Hamilton's aspirations while maintaining harmony within the squad will be crucial in their quest for success in 2025. The challenge is clear, and it's one Ferrari is prepared to face head-on. As we look ahead to the 2025 season, Ferrari's overall strategy is becoming clearer. They're aiming to build a car that isn't just competitive for the upcoming year, but is also set to be a long-term contender. The 2025 Challenger will likely be a crucial turning point for the team, and Ferrari is determined to prove themselves after a solid but still imperfect 2024 campaign. Their goal is clear: to be in the hunt for the championship, not just in 2025, but also in the years to come. For Ferrari, the next season is about showing that their growth isn't a one-off, but a sustained effort to get back to the top. The battle between Leclerc and Hamilton will undoubtedly be one of the most fascinating aspects of the season. With both drivers pushing each other, the team will be under immense pressure to ensure that both can thrive without letting their rivalry become a destructive force. The fact that both Leclerc and Hamilton are such high-caliber drivers presents a unique challenge for Ferrari. They're not just trying to manage the performance of the car, they're managing the personalities of two incredibly competitive drivers, each with their own ambitions. This is a delicate balance for the team, and their ability to keep things running smoothly will be just as important as the car's performance. Looking at the bigger picture, the key to Ferrari's success in 2025 will lie in their ability to adapt quickly, innovate, and keep pushing the envelope with their car development. They're making bold decisions, and while the risks are significant, the potential rewards are just as great. The fact that Ferrari is ahead of other teams in developing their 2025 car is a testament to their forward-thinking approach. they're taking the necessary steps to ensure that when the season kicks off, they'll be ready to compete at the highest level. As we move closer to the start of the 2025 season, Ferrari's commitment to their new direction becomes more evident. They're betting on a bold design change, one that's set to make their car almost unrecognizable compared to the 2024 version. The car's new philosophy, which is almost completely different from last season's model, could prove to be a game changer, or it could backfire if the team doesn't get it right. The pressure is on, especially considering that many of the other top teams, like Mercedes and Red Bull, have shown consistent improvement. If Ferrari's gamble pays off, they'll not only close the gap to the frontrunners but could very well be the team to beat in 2025. But even with all the changes to the car, it's important to remember that the core of Ferrari's success lies in how they manage the driver dynamic. Leclerc and Hamilton will be at the center of this, with both aiming for nothing less than victory. The question is, how will Ferrari handle the potentially difficult situation of having two top-tier drivers, each with their own goals and strategies? Will they be able to keep the team united and focused on the common goal of winning the championship, or will their internal competition become a hindrance? With so much at stake, the question remains, can Ferrari finally challenge for the title in 2025, or will they once again fall short? The answers will come on the track, but the build-up promises to be as intense as the season itself. As the new season approaches, Ferrari and their drivers are gearing up for what could be their most pivotal year in recent history.